Welcome to all the high vibrational beings of love and light. Today I'm going to be very raw and emotional and very transparent in expressing the following. One area that I feel that I have been struggling with as I start to introduce myself out to the world is that I am having issues with my authenticity, staying in connection as I speak to you all. And even though, yes, I am still working on trying to connect with my true authenticity, which is definitely, that's a big part of if you're feeling any awkwardness or any inauthenticity within my presentation. It's because it's really awkward for me to speak my opinions to any other being, period. As a survival tool when I was growing up, I got in infinite amounts of trouble to speak my opinion. So I taught myself very young to never let my opinions come out, because not only did I get in trouble at home, but it also affected me while I was in school and in classes. The teachers were rude to me. And when I started hitting middle school, there were some bullying that occurred because of being a redhead with freckles. And when I was younger, so during that time period, would have been in the 80s, there weren't a lot of redheads. So if you weren't somebody that had confidence or was trained to know how to stand up for yourself, the bullying took more of a turn for the worse, basically, for at least somebody in my particular circumstance. So I am using this research of feeling completely ill-prepared and not ready to be doing this, but because my spirit team is guiding me to do this and says that I have a message that is ready to be spoken to this particular collective of us that have been through the life path that we all have been through, of coming from such a low vibration, so much toxic, so much dysfunction, so much emotionally immature, coming from that kind of complex PTSD space from childhood, that this is something that I am doing to kind of push through a fear for myself. I feel like I have a message. I'm going to get emotional, so let me just do that really quick. Because, this is so fucking scary for me, you guys. You have no idea. I've worn this mask of confidence all my life. And in reality, what you're seeing right here, these tears, this emotion, this is how I always felt inside, but could never really express that. And it's frustrating because it's like, no, I'm finally like coming into my authenticity. I feel it. But what I am, expressing and how it's coming off and how it's presented to the public through my videos may not look that authentic to some. And it's because I wore this fake confident mask for so many fucking years that I thought that this is who I am. So now, as I try to be who I truly am, the mask wants to keep trying to say, nope, you're gonna present yourself this way. This is who you are, not this. This is who you are. And I get frustrated. I get frustrated after I record a video. I get frustrated as I watch my videos, and I'll debate it. And I'm like, that's not exactly who I am, but it's got a message. And so I'm going to try to at least push it out. But I am frustrated because I know that it's my... If any inauthenticity that is coming through, the inauthenticity, not the authenticity, that some people are seeing that, therefore, not listening to the message when maybe it's something that they're intended to hear. But I get it, because if I come across somebody's video where they don't seem like they're being authentic and they're, that they have intentions to authentically speak to me, I'll click past them too. So I don't blame anybody for clicking past my videos if I don't come off that way, because you should like only, choose the beings that resonate for you, right? Well, this is why I'm going to be really, really raw right now and just cry about it for a minute on camera, because I'm frustrated, and this is the way I know how to do it right now. But if I could just ask for people's patience, and, a little bit of grace for me, and to pray for me, to pray that I'm going to allow my authenticity to bust through my fear of the old version of myself that wants to keep trying to overpower my real self. So that is my request from the collective, is that I just need the prayers from everybody to let me know that you at least see some sort of authenticity from me. And just know that it's not on purpose. But when you were trained and you taught yourself this as a survival tool to wear a mask because being the true you got you in trouble when you were a child, and that stuck with you through well into your adulthood, well, it's going to take a minute to release. And this was one of the reasons I did not feel ready to be putting myself out for the general public, even though I know I have so much really good information to be able to be taught or, said in the way that I can say it. And that was always my purpose. And that was always something that helped me through my hard moments, is I felt that there weren't a lot of people that spoke to me in the way that I hope I'm speaking to some of you, in a way that's like, where I'm like, I hear what you're saying. That makes sense. The light bulb just went off, right? Epiphany, whatever that is, whatever that moment of aha is. And I'm crying because I am so annoyed right now at myself. I'm like, why is this so hard? This should be that hard. Like, I watch other people do this, and it looks like it's so easy for so many people. And I know that that's not necessarily true, because a lot of people are editing. And that's the reason why I don't edit, it's helped me to see how, the things I need to work on. It helps me to recognize, this has helped me recognize that I still have some scarcity mindset and some lack mentality. It's helped me to still see how much fear of judgment of others I still have in me that I thought I had gotten past, where it's like this experience has helped me see that no, I still have some work to do. And that's good. That's the point. It's about using these moments that scare the shit out of us to be able to learn from, right? Sorry. So anyways, just wanted to start off by saying that, and yes, hello. This is all about being love, right? One of the things that I had realized, until I can start to feel authentic, pure, 100% pure authenticity, is that I'm not going to be able, until I can feel that, I also won't be able to feel that connection with the divine. So I had to ask myself, what is creating this fear, and then therefore putting my mask up to hide my true authentic version of myself? And it was, wow, instantaneously, once I think about the fact that people are looking back at me and listening to my words, I freeze. I go into what I went back into as, my CPTSD, like survival modes. Freeze, appease, fawn. And I had heard somebody like say because I know it's, there's a different version of, when that happens, when you get into that fear state and, where your mind and body can take you. But for me, I would freeze. Everything freezes on me. My body, my mind, my like energy. And it's like I almost start feeling all the energies of everybody else. And I can't feel my own. Because again, another thing, when I was younger, I had to learn as a sensitive to feel the energies in my environment to be able to know if it was safe. And then if I could, how much of myself I could be, and, or do I have to completely hide it? And I'm recognizing that by doing this experiment, that I am starting to see that this is something that is really embedded into my energy, and I cry again only because I feel it so much. Like, as I say this, and it's very scary to be talking about this right now because I don't know how it's going to be received, but to be honest with you, I don't fucking care anymore, because what else do I have to lose? It's something I don't want to live with forever. Fuck that shit, man. Right? Like, fuck that. And I am so in awe by people that can speak their truth and speak their words and be like, I don't give a fuck what you think that I say. I had to care about everything that I thought and I said, because if I said the wrong thing, it got me abused in one way or another. And so the reason I keep referencing that is, again, because having that recognition for me helps me give some grace to myself, to be easy on myself, to go, just remember, that's why that happened. This is why that happened. So now you have an understanding of what it is you need to get past. And so as you can tell, whenever I do that, see how my emotions kind of lighten up as I go back into that, like, just not going back into it, but just remembering this is why that happened. And this is why I say identifying things is good for us, right? Because it helps us know where we need to, improve if that's the intention. Okay, so what I was trying to get at is that if see, now I'm freezing because I'm picturing you all looking at me right now and just waiting for my next words. And apparently it's me waiting for you to tell me to shut the fuck up, or don't speak until spoken to, or you're dumb, or you're stupid, or just to tease me, or this or that. I don't know. All of that, all of the above. And wow, look at how long that can be held into somebody's energy space and fascia, it helps me recognize why I resorted to addictions, and specifically my drug of choice being alcohol, was because I could numb all this feeling that I'm feeling right here. And not only numb this feeling, this awkward, icky feeling of feeling like, oh God, what are they going to think if I say this or that? Once I started drinking, I didn't care what I said. I had confidence then. That actually, it was my liquid courage, right? Okay, so this is where my thoughts have been recently, because the more videos that I publish, I am getting, inch by inch, more and more comfortable However, there's still a level of authenticity that I feel like you're not seeing that I give to myself when I'm in my spaces by myself, that I feel like I haven't yet been able to give to you. And that's not fair. And it's not intentional at all, for sure. It's not intentional at all. In fact, it's interesting because it's like I mentioned, I'll record and then I'll watch my video before I publish it. And, I'm like, God, why do I look and why do I sound like that? That's not really me. That's not really, like, it is, but it's not. There's more depth to who I am. I feel like it's very surface is what a lot of my videos. And again, please just know that's not intentional. But I'm just being basically so blunt with everybody right now because maybe there's one person that is dealing with this. And me being very transparent and truthful about what I'm dealing with regarding this will be helpful for you. Maybe me being emotional and showing you how it actually feels for me to experience this is going to be helpful for one person. And if it is, God, that's my goal, So, I'm hoping that by speaking this out, that this is going to help me to just be, get me a little inch closer to being more comfortable into my authenticity for you. Because I love myself and my authenticity. Once I was able to start my healing process and I was learning who I was, I remember one of the things I said was, I love who I am learning who I am. Because I never knew who she was, ever. I didn't know her at this level. And I am still learning because I didn't start to learn who I was until I was 40 years old. It's a lot of years to be alive and just be pretending to be a person based off of what others want you to be because you had to, not because you wanted to. That was a survival tool. So that's the point of this so far. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was the time that I do feel comfortable to allow Source to speak to me is when I'm by myself and nobody's around. And even though technically that's what's happening right now as I'm recording, but actually no, because I feel all your energies, right? I feel the collective energy because I am an intuitive. I'm a highly sensitive, highly sensitive empath, right? And I still want to be able to get the messages across to the collective of what I am learning, because I know the information that I have acquired so far is beneficial, has been beneficial for me, and will be beneficial for some of you in the way that I am presenting it. But I have to find my authenticity so that you feel that you can trust me and my words and my messages. So there's a couple of things that I do in my personal space when I'm not recording video. Is I record voice recordings on my phone. And that's one of the things I'm going to do in this video right now, is we're going to listen to a recorded download of a flow state moment for me and the divine that I recorded upon posing the question of, universe, what is creating this judgment for me, as well as this, in turn, ultimately, this lack mentality, scarcity mindset? The video or the recording that I'm going to have us listen to together is going to be my authentic verbal, so that you can get a glimpse of me being authentic. And then I'll just kind of go into it briefly afterwards and just kind of sum it up in case there's any confusion, because I jump around a little bit. And that's my flow state. I don't know how other people's flow states are, but The other method that I do for myself, if I really need to get something out and I really want to, write it out, type it out, is I'll journal. And I just allow the divine to just speak through me. And I'm asking questions and I'm researching, and then I'm also, intuitively listening. And so on videos following this one, I'm going to showcase myself reading through both of these happened this week for me, and they both happened cool, like weirdly enough, and in a very sweet space of happening with like at times of 111 or 1111 on the 10th, just a lot of ones popping up. So that's how I knew that the universe wanted me to present some information like this so that you can hear my authenticity when I'm by myself. Because that for me right now is the only time that I feel like I am safe, I guess, to allow my authenticity to be able to be there for everybody else to see. With opinions and all, right? And learn how to not have care in the world about anybody else's judgment whatsoever. So I am going to play this right now, and we'll go from there. So I'm having a really good epiphany moment right now. Download from my spirit team about something that's limiting me. Not fully having a good, complete 100% grasp on the copyright laws. So, because I'm feeling like it is limiting me, I'm feeling like I can't speak and say things that I want to say in fear or in limitation, that it could potentially get me, that I'm not following the way I should be following. And so of course, what am I going to do today now? Research copyright, And this is a way that I can take action now towards releasing things that are creating limiting beliefs in my experience right now. That's so much. And oh my God. So I had to share this. This is an example of how that was literally how it came into this is flow state. When you're there, like that, like where you are just, you're moving, but you're connected at such a intimate level with yourself that it's beautiful. Like, it's just, I love it when I'm there. It feels so good. So good. Peaceful. It's exactly what unconditional love feels like. I'm using that, like that's the thing. People that have come from such toxic, dysfunctional environments and have never experienced this type of vibration. Maybe gotten close, maybe even experienced it, but maybe short amount of time, just a short amount of time. And I know that that's what happened to me in 3 previous relationships, because it was in those moments that I said, wow, yeah, if it can feel this good, then I'm going to make sure that I find this for real. And that's when I set out on the mission. Just, I allowed too many obstacles to hold me down for too long before having a full grasp and understanding about the fact that, for me, at least in my experience, that was the intention of that, a numbing agent, was to, have me experience that in that moment. So I know what I don't want, know what I don't need, knowing why you did that initially. Like, it was, you were numbing, you're sensitive. The opposite of, you're sensitive with the you feel that you're supposed to be at a higher love, that there is this higher love, that there's this higher something, there's something out there that exists. And you want to be able to experience it fully because of the fact that it exists. It's like, I'm not going to let anything get in my way. There might have been long periods of obstacles because I chose apparently to stay in my karmic space for that time frame. Now, the reason I feel like that happened for me was so that for those of us, for anybody who has, felt like I'm a lost cause or, it's too late for me, like whether you're putting a limit on your age or like how long you've maybe been in your addiction modes. So like after seeing enough people that have been in it, you know what I mean? Like once, like I was fortunate enough to go through my sobriety with somebody I cared for their animals for. And, they're 2 dogs, and they both experienced sobriety at the same time I was going through mine. And it was beautiful. It was so beautiful to watch, and to see them expand their life, but they came from a vibrational, loving environment. And that's what seeing that was supposed to do for me. Oh my God. Because I always knew that I wanted to be around that love in all the experiences that I allowed into my life at that moment during those first 2 healing years, especially then, but continued on for that particular couple. I knew them my whole healing experience, my whole healing / sobriety experience. We became very close, through that. And like I mentioned, I was supposed to see that because they came from loving environments, families that care so much for them, showering them with so much love. And then to have that, I needed to see that visual. And that was the point of that, my opinion, relationship. I was supposed to see that. Look at that. And because now looking back in it, like sobriety, like just the conscious effort of just that alone, since they didn't have, lack of money or lack of food potential, all these things where they were keeping you down in lack. It was they just needed to fix the addiction part and the trauma that created the addiction. And they are intelligent. They were intelligent enough beings that they knew that. They were already high vibrational. And so that was cool for me to see, though, that somebody that didn't come from that necessarily negative space could still have, get past their shame and their guilt and their trauma in such a beautiful way. And so, it was definitely motivating for me, but now I'm seeing it even at a wider perspective, that it was there for me to see how soon, how quick after, tackling that one thing, how much that could improve their lives and how it could catapult them with such potential into these beautiful healing spaces of just a beautiful life. Their life was beautiful. It was so, it's exactly what I feel like people would want. Exactly to the T, down to everything, that they were just a really all around good example of human beings that should be procreating on our planet. I was able to even see that their first child be born into their lives after their time period of rising above their addictions into sobriety and embracing it and embodying that fully. It was, here it is. Here comes that release, happy release that comes from my epiphanies. When I have these profound, just magical, visual, connected epiphanies of seeing
so much positive and love. Makes me feel like if I was to be in that consistently, I would just cry all the time. Because it feels so good. And that's what this is. These tears. They're tears of scalar waves into hold on one sec. So scalar waves into portals of being more, just remembering who you are and being connected to yourself in the most intertwined way you can. I love this. That was really a beautiful thought. And I'm seeing that's a way that I can also put another twist to that. Another positive twist is this is such good. Like I have to give myself like a pat on the back basically and celebrate because that's a win, because that's me looking at the positive situations. And that is the goal in positive retraining and reprogramming of your water cells, your molecular cells, you're just down to the micro organism, and I'm so grateful right now.
Okay. I think that was it. Oh, wait, no.
In positive retraining and reprogramming of your water cells, your molecular cells, you're just down to the micro organism, and I'm so grateful right now.
That was the end. I don't know why it looked like I had to do more. So, okay, hopefully you could hear that. Hopefully there was some sense, because again, what that was is me being in a state of flow state, me feeling safe enough in my energy space to allow my authenticity to just be, so that I can receive the messages that I do receive always and that I have intuitively learned how to connect with, but that I have realized that I've had an issue with connecting while I'm filming myself, while I'm recording myself, knowing that there's going to be people watching. And so just to break that down really quickly, the question I think I had posed that day again was to the universe was, how, universe, what can I do to release fear of judgment by others so that my 100% true authenticity can be present while I am recording? What do I need to do to relax, or what lack and scarcity mindset, like lack mentality, scarcity mindset, do I need to release in order to achieve that? Where do I still need work done? And then, and then I pose the question, and then I start doing around the house. And that was a moment that all of a sudden, I started getting this download. And so I go grab my phone and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got it. Like, cause part of it'll start and I'll be like, okay, cause I'll start speaking it out loud and then having a conversation with the divine about it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me get my phone. So one of the things I was feeling a fear of was, I had wondered, I see people using music and referencing music, and that is something I completely want to always do, is reference music, because music speaks to me, and I am huge. Like, I used to go to so many concerts when I was younger. Not that I still want to go now, but I definitely went to my share. But it's also about making sure that we're absorbing the right types of music in the right types of frequency as well. Different video for a different time. However, it just kind of got me thinking about like copyright and this and that. And even though I was a business major, I'm like, ooh, I think I need to, refresh my knowledge on copyright so that I'm not going second guessing, like, can I just even say a couple of words from a song, and or how do I play a song within this? And because I noticed that people have songs, music by certain artists that they will include in their videos, and they just reference it. And it's just it's a learning curve too, about learning YouTube and how to work with it as well. So what's an easy way to get around that fear? Fucking research some copyright laws, bitch. So, I'm sorry, I hope that I can say all that. But see, again, look at it. I have the fear of, I don't think I've ever used the B word on here. And so people have said it. So anyways, so that was a way that I could put action to help me get past that fear, or that, thing that could be creating a fear block for me. That led me into thinking about the next area that I had mentioned, which, hold on one sec. Okay. Yeah, so basically that was just me showing you what I sound like when I am actually in my authenticity. And that's what I'd like to try to be able to do in real time, while knowing that people are receiving this information. And so I just want to give a huge thank you to all of you who are watching and supporting in positive ways, because it means more than you even know. And just even one person, giving, some good positive feedback is so immensely helpful that it's gold for me. You have to understand, it's pure abundance that I can't even begin to know how to articulate yet, because a lot of this is all brand new. It's like you're watching the birth of a new human in real time. And so it feels like I feel like, like an open wound that is raw to the touch. That's how it feels for me right now in this, introduction of myself, in this still healing space, in this still trying to find my true authenticity of who I am. And so please, again, just know that if any of my videos don't feel authentic, or, that it seems like I'm not being true, I am still working through finding who I am, and that's a process, people. And this is just part of my process to get there for myself. So, I really hope that, people will just accept this as is. And, it is what it is at the moment. And I can only give you what I can give you as best as I can at the moment. But I do thank you to all those who have been supporting me. It means so much to me. Like, you don't know how much it means to me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as always, I'm sending my love and my gratitude. Thank you for watching.